What's up guys, and welcome to another episode of El Jardín Perdido. Today, we're doing a winter harvest. All right, so we're just getting into January 2024, and we have an Arctic blast approaching. Temperature is expected to be between 20 and 30 degrees for a sustained maybe 24 to 48 hours. More likely 36. While this won't be as bad as some of the last freezes I've had, it's enough to at least make me get up and salvage some of the things I do have growing. We definitely have some nightshades, some eggplants, some tomatoes, and I'm just gonna kind of look around and see what I should be harvesting. All right, so one of the things I definitely want to get after are these habaneros. Unfortunately, a lot of them aren't ripe yet, but I will go ahead and harvest the ones that are ripe. And I'm even getting some that aren't quite there, but maybe by the chance they can ripen on a counter. So yeah, anything that's even remotely nearing ripeness, I'm gonna go ahead and harvest. We also have some poblanos here. I'm gonna go ahead and harvest those. And while the brassicas may make it through, I'm gonna harvest off some of the leaves that might keep for, 3 days up to a week maybe. I do wanna keep a lot so that the plant can actually insulate itself in this event. But yeah, just a little something to hold myself over. We also have a couple of eggplants here. I'm gonna get after some of those. A little bit of pest damage too. Kind of nearing their end, but they're pretty good. This one, I got to it a little late. I hadn't pruned this in a while, so this was on the ground, and as you can see, we got a lot of rain, caused some splitting, so the pill bugs are after them. This one, not great, but I can salvage some of it. Got a few tomatoes still on the vine. Unfortunately, they could have used a little bit more time, but I'll be happy to fry these up or even pickle them. Next up, we've got some jalapenos. They're okay. This one may be a little overdue, but that's all right. Just really ripe, not necessarily bad. All right, so we have more jalapenos here. This one seems to have a lot more ripe candidates, so we'll be definitely harvesting these up. Now, while the Malabar spinach is barely hanging on, I don't have a rational way to keep this. It's kind of like spinach. Like, you really wouldn't want to keep it too long, but I can have some and store it in the fridge. We do have some gourds available too. We'll pick those up while we're at it. Some katuk. What I like to do with this too is just hang it dry upside down, and kind of the same that I do with moringa. And it's gonna dry out real nice, and it'll keep for at least a year. Now, sugarcane. In my past experience, sugarcane has gone down with frosts, so I may not harvest them all, but I can harvest some both for consumption, which is prime time in the winter now. It's a lot sweeter, but I can also have some for propagation next year. By the way, in my growing zone, it usually does come back from the roots, no problem. Nice canes here. Kind of a purple hue to them. We're just cutting off the green. This one's already starting to propagate itself. I'll probably leave some of these nodes for propagation. All right, so I didn't go super crazy on the sugar cane. I just have 4 nice canes here, and the rest aren't really that mature. They are bouncing back from both a previous freeze and a drought this year. So I'd say we're doing pretty good. One thing I overlook every year is lemongrass. This is still pretty young, but I'm going to at least harvest it to transplant and to overwinter. You can use this as for culinary dishes, but also I got just enough to start propagating some more. Unfortunately, my potatoes aren't quite ready for harvest, but to be honest, they're underground. They may die back on top, but they'll bounce right back. I do have some golden berries here too, and I've got lots of flowers and a couple of fruits, but unfortunately, they're not mature enough. They grow up north, so I'm not sure how they'll fare in a frost. I know our heat is bad for them, but we'll just have to see. Unfortunately, I do have a lot of broccoli going. I'm not sure how it's gonna fare. Like I said, it's not a crazy long freeze, but maybe enough to do it in. I had to grab another bucket, but I do have a lot of tomatoes over here I'll grab real quick. And I can already see off the bat, it looks like some of them may have gotten a little too much rain this past week. Yeah, this one, maybe a little too much rain. Not quite split, but we do have some pest damage. Another one here. Not too bad for this vine. So I don't know how these loquats will fare, but they've already flowered. You'd have to worry about the blossoms if there was a freeze, but their fruits are pretty small, so I'm wondering how they'll do. As for the moringa, to me, I like to get them when they're nice and green. I already did a harvest, and yeah, this isn't worth it for me. I could harvest some taro, but they'll be protected, the tubers at least, underground, so I'm not gonna worry about that. We've got a Japanese eggplant here, and that's about all we're working with, so not really worth it. Have some little berries too. I'm probably just gonna eat these out of hand right now. Yeah, these are actually just hibiscus. I actually only saw one that looked palatable on here. All right guys, so this is actually the first time I've done a harvest haul, like full-on video like this, but let's see what we got here. Got our front yard green tomatoes. We've got the gourds. I just set them to the side. And I do have plenty more gourds harvested. Just, you know, why not pick them up? Got the katuk, the lemongrass, got the collards here. We have more than enough habaneros. I'm not even gonna bring those out on the table. Got some eggplant, some Malabar spinach, some more of these tomatoes, some nice poblanos, even though they're pretty small, and some jalapenos. I really didn't expect to harvest this much at this time of year, considering we were getting over a drought pretty late. We are in the heart of winter here in Houston, Texas. Although our winters are pretty mild, we haven't experienced a significant freeze event yet, but that will be coming with us next week. All right guys, that's gonna do it for today's video. If you haven't subscribed by now, consider doing so. I'll probably do an update on how the freeze goes. As for now, things are looking pretty green, pretty good. And I haven't done a full tour this year just because so many things were bouncing back, and it hasn't been a really fruitful year, to be honest. Also, for anyone viewing this, go ahead and comment down below your growing zone and what you're harvesting now in January. All right guys, well that's gonna do it for today's video. As always, thanks for tuning in. Until next time.